Hey, how's it going? May God bless your life greatly. Before the prayer begins, leave your like, share with someone special, and subscribe here to the Faith Moments channel. This way you help this message reach more hearts. Let's strengthen our faith together. Have you ever felt such deep pain in your chest that it seemed like it would never end? Have you ever found yourself facing such a difficult situation, looking around and feeling like there was no way out? Moments like these are common in the lives of those who face silent battles. But in the midst of all this, there is something that never loses its power: prayer. It is not an empty ritual. It is not words thrown out at random. It is a real encounter with the God who created the heavens and the earth. When you pray with true faith, with your heart surrendered, miracles begin to happen even when everything seems impossible. The Bible teaches us that faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. This is not just a pretty metaphor. It is a profound truth. Many times, we pray, but it seems that our words do not reach the ceiling. There are times when God's silence hurts more than the pain of waiting, and then we ask ourselves, is He listening? Do my prayers have any value? But it is precisely at these times that we need to look within and reflect. Am I speaking to God with a sincere heart? Do I really believe that He will act? Or am I just repeating words out of habit? Faith does not depend on our feelings. It is a firm conviction, a certainty that, even without seeing it, God is working behind the scenes in our lives. Think about the woman who had been suffering from a flow of blood for 12 years. She had tried everything, spent everything she had on doctors and treatments, but nothing had changed. Until she heard about Jesus, and in her heart, a certainty arose. If I just touch the hem of His garment, I will be healed. She did not hesitate. She faced the crowd, overcame her fatigue, shame, and fear, and touched Jesus. At that moment, the miracle happened. The blood stopped. Jesus felt power coming out of him and asked, "Who touched me?" The disciples were astonished by the question. After all, many had touched him, but Jesus knew that this was a different touch. The woman came forward, and He looked at her with love and said, "Daughter, your faith has saved you." Her faith not only healed her body, but restored her dignity and her hope. Quote, "The same thing happens to us. Prayer accompanied by faith transforms realities. It is not magic. It is not luck. It is the power of God manifesting itself in the life of those who believe." You may be facing illness, financial difficulties, family crises, deep anguishes, or loneliness. Everything may seem to be falling apart, but even so, pray as if you have already received a miracle. Speak to God as a child who knows that the Father listens to him, understands him, and answers him at the right time. And if the answer has not yet arrived, do not be discouraged. Persevere. God does not fail. He knows the right time to act. Sometimes, He takes us on difficult paths to strengthen our faith, to mature our spirit, to prepare us for something greater. The prophet Habakkuk declared, "Though the fig tree does not blossom, though there are no grapes on the vines, though the olive harvest fails, though the fields lie empty and bare, though the flocks disappear from the pens and there are no herds in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord, I will be joyful in the God of my salvation." This is trusting God even when all seems lost. This is resting in the certainty that He is in control, even when we lose our footing. God's timing is not ours, but His timing is perfect. While you wait, He is working. While you cry, He is comforting. While you pray, He is acting. Don't give up. Keep praying. Keep believing. Faith is the bridge that connects your pain to the miracle that is coming. You may not realize it now, but what God is preparing for your life is much greater than you can imagine. There are times when the silence of heaven seems deafening, when the waiting becomes heavy, and the promises seem too far away. But nothing you experience is in vain. There is a purpose, even in the tears, even in the pain you cannot explain. Think about Joseph. He dreamed big, but he was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into prison for a crime he did not commit, and forgotten by those who promised to help him. Those were years of suffering and loneliness. But even when he was imprisoned and wronged, Joseph did not stop believing. He remained faithful. And at the right time, God exalted him and made him governor of Egypt, the second most powerful authority in that nation. Everything that seemed like defeat was, in fact, the path to a great destiny. If Joseph had given up halfway through the journey, he would never have experienced the fulfillment of the dream that God placed in his heart. The same is true for you. No prayer is ignored, no tear goes unnoticed. God is attentive to every cry, to every word spoken in the silence of your room when no one else is watching. He knows your heart and hears even what you cannot say, but he wants you to approach him with faith, not with doubt. Because those who doubt are like waves in the sea, unstable, carried from one side to the other. Those who doubt cannot expect to receive anything from the Lord, because faith is what moves the heart of God. If you want to see the supernatural happen in your life, start changing the way you pray. Don't just pray asking, pray thanking as if the answer has already arrived. Declare victory before you even see it. That's what Abraham did. When God promised him a son, he and Sarah were already old. Humanly, it was impossible. But he didn't doubt. On the contrary, he believed against hope, and that faith was considered righteousness. He stood firm in the promise, even when everything said there was no way out. True faith does not depend on what you see. It does not rely on feelings or the circumstances around you. The faith that pleases God is the kind that remains even when everything is falling apart. If you only believe when everything is easy, your faith still needs to grow. But if you continue to believe even when faced with the impossible, then you are ready to witness the power of God acting supernaturally in your life. No matter how big or small the struggle you face, it could be an incurable disease, an unpayable debt, deep emotional pain, a broken marriage, a lost child, a weary soul. None of these are greater than the power of God. The same God who parted the Red Sea so the people could cross on dry land, who closed the mouths of the lions to protect Daniel, who made the sun stand still so Joshua could win the battle, who gave children to the barren, who healed lepers and raised the dead. This God is the same today. He has not changed. His power is eternal. The question is, are you praying with faith or just mumbling out of habit? Don't wait for chaos to take over to seek God's presence. Don't wait until you hit rock bottom to get on your knees. Pray now. Talk to him now. Believe now. God's timing is different from ours, but he is never late. And while you pray, he works. While you cry out, he moves heaven and earth to accomplish his will. When a child humbles himself before the Father and cries out with all his heart, extraordinary things happen. His victory does not depend on luck. It is not the work of chance. It comes from the one who has all the power in his hands, the one who has the final word, even when everyone says it is the end. So close your eyes right now, raise your voice, and pray like you've never prayed before. Lay before God everything that's in your heart. Speak with sincerity, with faith, with boldness. Because today could be the day of your miracle. Today could be the day your prayer moves heaven. Don't let doubt silence your faith. Don't let fear steal your hope. Pray with faith and watch God act.